Welcome to this bonus segment of Voice Talks. I'm your host, Megan Grace. As mentioned during last week's episode, we have a special segment for you today from Google's developer relations team. Dene Earley-Cha will walk us through building for the Google Assistant, focusing in on app actions. Take it away, Jessica.
App actions is how developers can integrate Google Assistant into their Android app. With app actions, users can jump into the most interesting and useful points in the app with simple voice commands. App actions allow users to launch and control Android apps with their voice. So they can say things like, "Hey Google, order a pizza from the example app," to the assistant, and the Android app will open to the section in the app so they can start their order. Do you have an Android app that exports its activities by allowing other on-device apps to invoke their exported activities? Assistant may automatically use these intents to bootstrap your app's support for assistant queries. Try it out. Just say, "Hey Google, open," and then your app's name to an assistant-enabled device. Great. If it worked, fantastic. You could override this behavior by implementing your own app actions to have further customization. And if not, don't worry. You could still implement app actions and be able to have this functionality for your users. So let's dive in to see how app actions work. When the user says, "Order a pizza from example app," Google Assistant will process the user's input using natural language understanding, or NLU for short. Assistant will do intent matching and pull parameters supported by that intent from the user's input. Then the app is triggered with this data and opens the section to start the pizza order. You can think of this process as having two parts. The first part is processing and understanding what the user wants and matching that intent. And then the second part is fulfilling the user's request, being able to provide what the user wants. A key concept in machine learning and NLU is intent matching. Intent matching loosely means identifying several speech patterns for a particular functionality or intention of the speaker. Assistant has identified and supports over 60 intents, which we call built-in intents, or BIIs for short. These BIIs are also arranged by several categories. Google builds and maintains these language models for BIIs to understand many common variations of queries related to that particular intent. We highly recommend starting with common BII intent category. There are over 10 BIIs, and they handle intents that are common over several verticals, like the get thing. The get thing BII searches for content and entities using the default in-app search feature in an app. To use app actions, we'll need to add capabilities to our shortcuts.xml file. Capabilities are an expression of the relevant feature of an app and contains a BII and its fulfillment. What if you have a use case that isn't covered by the dozens of BIIs? There are custom intents just for that use case. Custom intents are similar to BIIs, where they communicate to the system what type of functionality you support, but they need more support on the developer end. A lot more support. Because of the complexity of NLU, we highly recommend using our BIIs. Here we have a capability that is tethered to the getThing BII, and it uses the parameter thing.name. The intent tag contains all the information for the fulfillment. When the getThing BII gets matched, the Android intent is triggered, and the parameter and the value we pass to the Android intent as extras. That's where the Android app can know what to do with this intent. Here's an example of how an Android app uses and gets the value of the getThing, and then it could later use that to search for the item that's been requested. This is a brief introduction to app actions. Going back to where we started, app action consists of two parts. Understanding the user's requests, which Assistant does, and it uses BIIs or common intents. And then the fulfillment. So you could use static and dynamic shortcuts to launch your app as fulfillment to the request, or you could even use widgets for inline fulfillment for quick responses. App Actions leverages the Android platform to add more functionality and options for your users, like widgets, dynamic shortcuts, and App Actions test tool that is the Google Assistant plugin for Android Studio, and an in-app promotion for proactive engagement for their most critical user journeys.
Thanks, Jessica. And thanks everyone for checking out this bonus content. I'll see you for Voice Summit on December 7th.